With a rocket launcher in hand, the FBI order Venom to stand down. The alien is not impressed, but as a result of their interference, he fails to notice Firebug stir and strike out. The fire causes Venom to panic, throwing Firebug straight into a building. Inside Lee's mind, the alien cries out, "It can't do this anymore! It can't take this! It has to be with someone else! Anyone else!" It dives towards the feds, figuring the police officers would be good hosts. This frightens the agents, and one of them manages to shoot a now unprotected Lee. Venom tries to join with one of them, explaining that it wants to help and save lives, until it sees Lee, who is fading fast. Reluctantly, it knows it can't just sit by and let him die, and joins back with him. The two flee while the FBI looked on, shocked and bewildered by this turn of events. In Black Cat's headquarters, Mac Gargan approaches his employer, saying he does not buy Lee's story at all. He went to the alley where the bad deal supposedly went down, and there's no way that was just a regular gunfight. Black Cat doesn't really care. Everyone lies to her, but the only thing that matters is results, and the fact is, whatever reason he had for lying, he brought back their cargo intact. Dissatisfied with this, Mac insists that Lee can't be trusted, but Black Cat says right now, Lee's not the one she's worried about. In his dreams, Lee sees a vision of Tony. He can't believe his friend killed him. There's something black inside of this man. But Lee already knew this. It's been there all along. He wakes up in Tony's apartment. Venom learned of this place through his host's memories, figuring it would be safe to bring him here. He saw Lee's dream, too. Price notes that the alien clearly hates him, but it did save his life. The symbiote explains that it protects life, and it would not let him die. Lee points out that's a funny thing to say given what it did to Firebug. Venom doesn't really know what to say to that. It's always had a bit of a problem with fire. Lee is understanding though. The alien is like a dog. Smart when calm, an instinctive animal when panicked. But that's okay, because just like a dog, what he really needs, more than anything else, is for someone to take charge. One of the feds bursts in with a gun trained on Lee. Venom is quick to warn his partner that he will not kill an innocent agent and that Lee is still too weak to force him to do so. The agents were easily able to track Lee down, but they are willing to make a deal. Also, with his partner ready to burn this entire apartment down at a moment's notice, Venom really doesn't have a lot of options right now. So they make it clear. Work for them, be a mole within Black Cat's organization, and nobody has to get hurt. Venom loves the idea, because perhaps some good can come of all of this. But Lee warns the symbiote that just because the man has a badge, it doesn't mean he's any different from Price. Elsewhere, Adams, one of Black Cat's men, approaches Mac. He shows the man a picture of Lee's recently destroyed apartment, asking if Gargan had something to do with this, given his lack of faith in Lee. Mac is surprised to see that, saying he had nothing to do with it. Adams says that he figured it was him, but he probably should have known better. Fire has never been Mac's style. When Gargan goes for people, he goes right after them. That's why the cat hired him, actually. To do the things that need doing. Hearing this, Mac knows Adams is right. Invigorated, he goes to his scorpion suit. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden and this is my recap and review of Venom number 3. So this one is kind of interesting. On the one hand, it was a pretty solid and entertaining comic. There's some great moments of writing and I do really like how this story handles Venom's character. It's neat having Mac Gargan take an active role in the series and there are a lot of cool moments. Lee and Venom have an interesting dialogue and banter going on between each other, and I like how he points out the agents aren't necessarily good or trustworthy people. Yet it does kind of feel like he's talking to a child for this. It's weird, but it's kind of interesting. I also like the art in this comic. There's a great design of the scorpion suit at the end, and there's some really cool images with some interesting narration concerning Venom's race and how they work. There's a certain color and feel to the artwork overall that I just kind of really dig. That being said, I'm still not too keen on Lee's character. Like I said, he has a very interesting dynamic, almost abusive with Venom, while this story makes it clear that the alien is always under the influence of the host, implying that this will be a story of corruption and such down the road. That's fine and goes a long way to explain why Lee is able to control the alien so well, but I do question how long all of this can last. The thing is that Lee's character isn't very likable. He's not very compelling, he's a fundamentally bad person, and he doesn't have the traits that an anti-hero or outright villainous protagonist would have to carry a series. He might work as a villain, but that wouldn't work as the star of his own show, not like this. There isn't much personality here otherwise either. He's just kind of a dick, possibly even a sociopath. And that makes for a very boring character to follow in any story, usually. Yes, there are exceptions to this rule, but those are not the norm, and Lee is no such exception. So I don't know, I am curious where this series is going, and I have been enjoying reviewing it, oddly enough. But it's hard to recommend it. There were some cool moments in the comic, but it's just so lame. It tries so hard, and that's the worst thing you can do when you're trying to be edgy and cool like this comic desperately is. Just the same, there's some odd fun in watching it all unfold, and who knows where the series is going. I really am not totally sure about the direction. So this comic might not get a recommendation from me, but that's only because it strays a little far into mediocre territory for my liking. It's not bad, it's just a little too edgelord for my taste. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and if you like Comic Island, check out our Patreon page for a chance to have a say in the comics we review. Finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.